Hello lovers, welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast hosted by myself, Lauren Amy. This is for those who are ready to take up space, who are living a soft life loudly and are ready to savor the sweetness in each moment. Here we're going to embrace transformation, the beauty of the in-between and the magic of becoming. So pull up a seat and listen in because life is delicious and it's about goddamn time we eat it up. Okay, honeys, so you know how last week I was talking about celebrating our weirdness, our whimsy, and, planting those little seeds for a silly girl summer? Well, lo and behold, that has been the catalyst for a whole chain of events that I did not anticipate, but it's carrying me through this wild, wonderful ride that I'm going to share with you all. Now, okay, this weekend has been absolutely mad joyous in so many ways. So consider this episode as a follow-up to last week where we're going in even more, okay? We are locked into this silly girl summer shit, all right? We are diving in head first. So let me do a little catch up as to where I'm coming from. You might have seen this play out on social media, but if you haven't, here we go. Okay, so I wanted to practice some skating on Friday night, but me being my, scared, nervy self was fearful of being seen practicing outside for the first time on my own, because you might fall, you might make a fool out of yourself. People might think it's strange, but again, as I was saying last week, the only reason that people are finding it strange and a bit weird is because I'm learning. I'm in that awkward phase of learning, right? And I just need to keep pushing through it. Anyway, I put that on my story saying, honeys, hype me up, right? Which is somewhat of an unusual thing for me to do, I guess, because I like to see myself as everyone's hype girl. I like to give almost like that tough, slightly aggressive hype to encourage or enable people to do the things that I know that they want to do, And I think my friends would all say the same. Danny, for example, she sent me a voice note once saying, I need hyping up for this. And I'm like, girl, get your ass up. And it does have that slight aggressive undertone. But I think it works. And I did have one fantastic DM from that story that I posted on Friday with the exact same aggressive hype. And I was like, this is exactly what I need. So I grabbed my skates and I went outside and I had the best time, Of course I did. I knew I was going to, because again, it's something that I knew I wanted to do. I just need to push past the original or the initial fear. So I got back in, was feeling really good about myself, and I posted a little story with a little question, just raising the question, like, what if? What if I created like a little summer club, like a little hot girl skate crew, like a little hot girl paddleboard crew, because I love these things and my DMs are full of other girlies, other women wanting to participate in these activities, wanting to learn how to paddleboard, seeing that I'm learning how to skate and be like, actually, that's fucking cool. I want to do that as well. And I wanted to put the invitation out there that people are more than welcome to join me. I've got so comfortable in doing things on my own for the most part. Yes, this weekend I still had to work through that initial fear, but it is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing evolution. But for the most part, I am comfortable doing things on my own. But what makes things so much more joyous is having someone to share it with, okay? When you're all in it together and there's that kind of camaraderie, there's that joyfulness of everyone kind of learning something new, embracing the silliness of it, and just knowing that it doesn't need to be anything more than that. It doesn't need to be a huge success. We don't need to necessarily earn anything from it. We don't need to, pass any tests or any exams. We can literally do things for the fun of it, for the thrill of it. So I had this little idea, and to be honest, I think I've had this idea for a long time, and I've always thought I'd love to create a real fun, vibrant community where it's just full of social events, where it's connecting people. Because one thing I love about yoga classes is how people come in as strangers and leave as friends. I love to hear it when some of my yogis are going for a post-yoga coffee. Oh, it just makes my heart sing. And I suppose this is an extension of that, is another example of that, of bringing people together, forming connections based off of joy, silliness, and just the sheer thrill of giving something a go. And even when I think back to when I started teaching yoga, that was the bare bones of it. I just want to encourage people to give things a go. You know, these strange transitions here and there, these creative movements here and there. I want people to feel that kind of playfulness, break through that mundanity, and just see what else is possible, see what else is out there. So, since posting that story Friday night, I had a whole host of DMs again saying, I'm in, I really want to be part of this, let me know what you come up with, what's the situation, what's happening, girl, I want to buy some skates. I had one girl shout out to Ellie who literally went and got herself skates the next day, the very next day. And it felt like this real rush, like this build of momentum. And I'm like, oh God, hang on, something's happening here. I don't know what this is. And one of my girlies had messaged me saying, like, I feel like you're creating a silly girl summer movement and I'm so here for it. And I'm like, shit, maybe that is what's happening. It was really one of those moments where I was just sharing my silliness online and people were seeing it, people were resonating with it, people were wanting to join me as well. And I'm like, okay, goddamn, let's fucking go. So that Friday night, I was running on such a high, such adrenaline. My brain was whirring and churning. There were so many ideas like flooding to the surface. And I didn't know what to do with it all. I genuinely did not know what to do with it all. Went to bed and tossing and turning all night. And then I woke up like wide awake at 5 a.m. And I just had this sense of, I don't know if urgency is the right word, but this real drive to just make something happen, you know, and not worry about the outcome, just do it. Okay, so I've seen these little broadcast channels on Instagram and I haven't ever been part of one, but I thought this would be a nice alternative to like a group chat, I guess, because, you know, if there's lots of people in a group chat, there's lots of different messages, it can easily get so overwhelming, and I didn't necessarily want it to be that. So I thought, what if I just create a Silly Girl Summer Club channel on my Instagram and just see who joins, see who pops up, all right? Now, I shared that on my story the Saturday morning, and I'm sat there in my living room, not gonna lie, in a little bit of a cold sweat, because I had this similar feeling, like, you know, when you're young and you have this upcoming birthday and your parents want to throw you like a little birthday party and it comes around to sending all the invites out and there's this feeling that no one's going to come. You know, there's that fear that no one's going to show up. And then you're made to feel embarrassed, made to feel like a fool. You're made to feel a bit ridiculous. Yeah, all those feelings were there. And I was sat in it and I was just like, oh, okay, wow, this is like a past, I don't really want to say trauma, but this is like a past internal trigger that's at play here. And I just had to sit and wait. But whilst I'm waiting, again, more ideas are coming through. I had a couple girlies DM me and say, I'd be so happy to create like a little logo for you or a little design for you. And I'm like, oh my God, like people are willing to collaborate with me. And this isn't even a fully fledged idea, but people are willing to show up already. And then I started to see the numbers in that member list go up. It got to like 1 or 2, got to 4, 5, got to 8, got to 11. And I was just like, oh my God. I think by the time it got to like over 10, I was like, great. This is amazing, like a group of 10 girlies just having a silly good old time, great. But that number kept climbing and has continued to climb. And it's now just below 40. I think I just checked, 39. What the hell? I don't know 39 people. I don't have 39 friends, but I guess I now do. I don't know where these people have come from. It doesn't show me everyone's names. So there's people in that group that I'm not necessarily aware of yet. And then the next thing that happened, because I also decided to share a few things over on TikTok, people have moved across from TikTok, found my Instagram, found the channel, and joined it. Again, people I do not know. Joining in the silliness, joining in the nonsense. And whilst that felt great, like, okay, people are believing the idea, people are drawn into the nonsense of it all, okay, cool, this could be something. But then what followed is almost like this weird kind of imposter syndrome. And how silly is that, right? How silly is that? That imposter syndrome has again reared its ugly head to be like, are you sure you're the person to do this? Are you sure about this? But everything I've done, everything I've wanted to create, I don't know, this just makes perfect sense to me. This feels like such a natural progression of all things. And yeah, God, I feel like I just need to run with it. I just need to run with it. I want to create merch. I want us to have silly girl socials. I want us to do like silly girl scrapbooking. I want us to do silly girl sports day. I want us to do all the silly things. How fucking thrilling is that? What a movement. And then because my classic business brain is thinking like, fuck, we could create a whole brand out of this. This could go global. And I'm like, calm down, Lauren, rein it in, pull yourself together, like, eat something. It got to like, I don't know, 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I hadn't ate anything because I was just like, I think I was just wandering around my flat being like, oh, I could do that. I could do this. Wow, that looks amazing. I was having a real in-depth DM chat with a girl that was creating some logos, some font for me. And she was coming up with ideas as well. And you know, when you're like texting kind of furiously, with that kind of furious excitement, and you start making typos, and then it all goes into capital letters, and it's like you're aggressively shouting at one another, but again, with that excitement, that was what was happening. So I really had to be like, okay, Lauren, take a moment, take a breath. What are we actually doing here? Because it's so easy. The type of person I am is to think ahead, like, okay, silly girl summer, cool. This could be a great fun thing for the next 3 months. But then as we get to autumn, what's going to happen? As we get to winter, what's going to happen? Sure, we could have a revival, silly girl spring. Is this like a one-time thing? Or is this a movement that stays? I don't know. I suppose we're right at the beginning. We're right at the cusp of it. But I don't know, this feels really good in my bones, honeys. This feels really good in my soul. And I am excited. Still doing my best to push that imposter syndrome. And let me tell you why. Okay, I had a few conversations, again, about this over the weekend in person. And I think the reason why I'm suddenly feeling like, almost like flustered and a bit overwhelmed. Like, imagine 40 people in a room all at one time. It's quite a lot of people, you know? And it just is, again, taking me back to school. Again, that feeling of inviting people to a birthday party and no one RSVPs, right? And I was never the cool girl at school. I wasn't part of any of the cool cliques. I wasn't popular. I kind of stuck more to the outskirts. I was probably quieter. I think I focused a lot more on my studies, I guess. I was very much the good girl. Very much the good girl. And I didn't want to make too much noise. I kind of stuck to what I thought I needed to do. And you know, one thing I remember from school, like at the lunch table, right? You'd have these long tables, and it was each year would have a different table, right? So especially when it got to sixth form, like upper sixth and lower sixth, right? Our table was clearly divided in two halves, right? And at my particular school, at lunchtime, you'd often have teachers from other houses or whatnot come and sit with you for lunch, and they'd sit in the centre of the table, right? And they would provide almost like the divide. And on one side of the table was like the popular group, and on the other side of the table was just everyone else, really. And that really stuck with me, because I was always the one wanting to be like, why can't we mix a little bit more? Why can't we like talk and have the same chats and have the same fun, you know? Because we're all girlies, we all live together. Shocker, I went to boarding school, FYI, for those that don't know. Like, why is there this clear divide? And I suppose it was just one of those things that you just kind of had to accept, I guess. But again, I feel like I was just kind of like floating. You know, I was never part of a particular group. I wasn't necessarily a real sporty girl. I think the only way in which I started to define myself a little bit was my interest in arts, creativity, movement, dance. Sorry, just a quick little pause. This is a perfect example of how wild things are at the moment. I've got a couple DMs just come through with another gorgeous girly. I think she's sending me, again, fonts and potential logos. What the hell? Little doodles, collaborations coming through. What the hell? right? This is something's kicking off. But anyway, back to what I was saying. There was like this clear divide, and I didn't know where to situate myself. And cut to now, where it's been what, like 10 years? No, over that. How old am I? 12 years. How old am I again? I'm 31. Maths is not my strong suit, okay? But it's been over a decade, okay? Since I left school, went to uni, did a gap year, did a master's degree, started a business, and here I am now. Obviously, it's that classic thing of knowing who you are so much more now, feeling way more connected to myself and the things that I enjoy, and then not being ashamed to share these things, right? This is something that I talk about quite a lot, you know, not being afraid to share your passions and share what interests you. I literally said this last week, right? We all hopefully remember if you've listened to it already. And I feel like those two halves of the table, it's like my current self, my present version of myself, and then this younger version of myself sitting at these opposite ends of the table. And then we're gradually coming towards the centre, we're gradually meeting in the middle. That's what I feel like is happening here. And any time I saw that number go up on this Silly Girl Summer Club, I literally felt like my younger self do a little like skip. Why am I getting like emotional at this? I don't know, I feel like there's a part of like myself that I feel like there's a little bit of healing going on. And it's so silly. It's so silly. But that's what makes it so fucking joyous. And I think a lot of people can perhaps resonate to that, you know? A lot of us didn't know where we sat at the table, you know? A lot of us were kind of floating our way through. A lot of us were I don't know, wanting to find that connection. And then we've left school, we've moved through whatever journey our lives took us on, and then we're meeting ourselves again here. What in the healing is happening? Oh, God. And you know what else has happened recently that, again, kind of stopped me in my tracks? It's happened twice, and I remember it clear as day, right? I've had two separate people come up to me on two separate occasions and just be like, you know what, Lauren, you're so cool. What? Me? Me? The weird, quiet, insecure girl at school that kind of just stuck to the shadows a little bit and just didn't make any noise and didn't want to rock the boat too much? Me? This girl? This girl's cool? And also, one of the girls that said this to me, I've always thought that she was so cool. So as she says this to me, I'm like, honey, no, you're cool. What are you saying? It's like we're having this back and forth. No, like, you're cool. What? I genuinely feel like being weird and silly is the new cool. Like, this is the new movement, you know? Again, we don't have to be quiet. We don't have to stick to the shadows. We don't have to stick to some kind of like routine or societal expectation, you know? We can celebrate the silliness. We can be joyful. We can take up space. We can be seen. We can be witnessed as all that we are. I can't believe that I'm getting this amped up and this fired up over such a silly idea. It's really like rooted somewhere in my soul, and it's given me some sort of forward momentum that I don't think I've ever felt before. And it's so exciting. I want everyone to get involved. I do want this to go global. I want there to be like silly girls all over the world. That's the level of delusion that we're working with here. I'm fully in delulu land, and I don't know when I'm coming back, but I think I'm going to be here for a little while, you know? So if you want to join me in delulu land, then honeys, come join the Silly Girl Summer Club. I've created a club! What the hell? My inner child is like, I think she's staring at me, like, mouth open, like, what in the audacity is this? Oh, we're right at the beginning of this, Huns. And you know when you just feel like you're on the cusp of something, whether this is just like a a stint for summer that possibly takes over my life for the next 3 months, or whether this continues beyond this, I don't know. But I want there to be merch, I want there to be meetups, I want there to be events, I want there to be socials. I want there to be so much silliness. It's actually ridiculous. What a silly little idea. So like I said, join me in the Silly Girl Summer Club, honeys, the Instagram channel on my feed, okay? And even if you're not local, okay, even if you're from further afield, I'm cooking up ways that we can all get involved in some shape or form, okay? At the weekend, I posted my first Sunday Sillies, my alternative to the Sunday Scaries, you know, because another week is about to begin, and who says that we're meant to feel like apprehensive about a new week, right? But there's so much potential for silliness, for joy, for opportunity that in a new week, right? So yeah, the Sunday Sillies was all about kind of following one whim, one thing that, I don't know, will bring that little spark of joy, no matter how small it might be. And I think I gave a few options, one of them being if you're walking past like a playground, a children's park, and there's a swing, fuck it, go swing, you know? And I highly recommend it because I did it a while back. You know, when you hear the ice cream man go past your house, go outside, flag it down, get an ice cream, you know? Who says all these things are just for kids? Who said that? Not me, okay? Not me. So, my gorgeous ones, if you are in, get involved, okay? Everyone can have that silly girl summer and just dilly-dally, frolic, be our like wildest whimsical selves and just see where it takes us. Like a picture us in 3 months' time when it gets to like September or something, and September often feels like another new year in itself when kids go back to school and yes, maybe we get back into some routine or something. Imagine us in September looking back and reflecting on the summer we've just had and like all the adventures we've been on, all the people that we've met, all the activities that we've done, the things that we've learned, the things that we've tried. Doesn't that again just entice you a little bit more to again seek out just that little bit more? We don't have to do anything crazy. Again, I know I was talking about being our most rebellious selves a few weeks ago. Again, that still doesn't mean that we need to be breaking any laws, you know? Just that little nudge, that little bit of oomph. Again, that was something else I said to a friend recently. Just live life with a little bit more fucking oomph, will ya? Who cares what people think? Who cares? Yes, it's nice to get that validation of seeing people join in and being called cool, but at the end of the day, if you are happy and content within yourselves and you do your best to embrace whatever the day has to offer you, magical. Magical. So I suppose what I'll leave you with on this delightful Wellness Wednesday, honeys, is the exact same message I put to the group for our Sunday Sillies, and that is just to follow one whim. Follow one whim that gives you that little spark of joy and allows you to live life with a little bit more oomph. Go swing on a swing in a children's playground. Go get yourself an ice cream. Buy yourself flowers. I don't care. Make yourself a fucking flower crown. That's how I spent my Friday night. Lovely. Follow one whim and let that be the catalyst for your silly girl summer. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, okay, let's go. I can't wait to see all that. I can't wait to see us all have the silliest of all summers yet. Let's go. Thank you so much for listening, Huns. Thank you so much for showing up week on week. I will see you next time, hopefully with a little summer solstice special. If I'm able to edit that around in record timing, wish me luck, okay? But yes, I will see you next time. Oh, DM me with all your little whims that you end up doing. I can't wait to see it. The more we share, the more it's going to encourage others too, all right? The more you live that full, vibrant life and experience the whole plethora of human emotion and sensation, the more you're encouraging others to do the same. Be loud and proud about it. And yeah, be your best silly self. Oh, all right. I love you, honeys. Go thrive. Mwah. Alright, right, stunners, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. I hope it has left you feeling suitably inspired. And as always, please don't forget to rate and review, like and subscribe, all those lovely things, as not only does this help the podcast grow, but it also helps us to reach more beautiful souls who need to hear these conversations. And of course, come hang out with me over on Instagram and TikTok at LaurenAmyYD, and follow the pod at butterflyeffect.pod. You can also dive deeper into yoga, meditations, poetry, and so much more with me over on Patreon. Until next time, keep living a soft life loudly because you know you deserve it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Mwah!